welcome to the channel. This is my 92 Dodge Colt. I've had it for probably like 3 years, but I haven't touched it recently in over a year. It's been sitting in this garage for over a year untouched, and the garage is also very, very messy. A little bit of background to this car. My dad he purchased this car probably in 2013, and he had it for 2 or 3 years and sold to a guy locally, and then I bought it back three and a half years ago, I'd say, and took it to the shootout front wheel drive 3 years ago, and after that I really haven't touched it a whole lot. Now this is just me literally trying to make some room in this garage. It's filled with clutter, just like the Colt. I haven't touched my garage either, except put junk in it. Recently I've followed and watched a couple of fellow DSMers and guys with Colts with their builds, and it gave me the motivation to start on mine. I'd say before the pandemic, I put the rear end in and the fuel cell, and I felt like I was making a lot of progress, and then just stopped. I mean, craziness happens and I completely stopped, and a year later I have finally found the motivation, I think and hope. And the garage needed some lights, so I picked up some. These are cheap, like LEDs from Amazon. They're like $45 for 6 tubes, and they're okay. So I've got like a total of 12 of them in the garage. Now I can at least see what I'm doing. Okay. I feel like I didn't get any more room, but a little better. I just have a lot of junk to get rid of in this very small garage. Okay. Since this car is going to be all-wheel drive, I need to make a front and rear motor mount plus a transmission mount for the all-wheel drive transmission. I feel like that's going to be like my biggest challenge coming up. I'm going to keep all the interior in because it's pretty clean. I mean, all the pieces are there. I've even got a non-cracked bezel. So. Alright, moving on to the back now. Like I said, a year ago I did do the fuel cell, and the rear end and the suspension is in. I think it's a 10 or 12 gallon tank, and it's got a fuel level sensor in it as well. Now I'll probably have to make another battery box because this one's too big for. I need to figure something out there where I'm going to place the battery. Okay, the rear end is in. It's all tack welded as far as the brackets that's holding it all together. So I need to finish all my welds. But the suspension is done. So that's like a huge thing I did accomplish last year, and I wish I would have kept on the roll. Before I put the motor and transmission back in, I do plan on sanding this engine bay down and painting, because eventually I'm going to paint the whole car. All in all, this car is very solid. There's only 2 rust spots, and they're in the quarters, or the rockers. And it's, for the most part, straight. This is a GT hatch, so whenever I go to paint the car, I will be putting this on. And I also have the side skirts to match. These are GSC S2s. And then the head is it's a 1G head with this dual valve springs, and I picked this up so long ago I don't know what valves are in it. And then I'm running DSM Link on this old school tablet, or 2-in-1 was what they call them, I think. It's touchscreen, all it works pretty good for how old it is. Alright, now for the motor. This is a built 6-bolt. It's got JE pistons and Manley rods, all ARP hardware, ARP studs. It's a Force Performance 68 HTA. So the only thing I have to do for the motor is swap the heads and put the cams in, and the motor will be ready to go. Now I'm going to be a auto. This is a stock auto with a shift kit in it, and stock converter should be completely fine for the HTA. We're running a Hurst shifter, and then this cooler. I'll probably get a bigger one. I've had this stuff for so long. It's thick, but just don't know if it's got enough volume. A new automatic transmission filter. So as you can see, I have almost all the parts I need to finish this build. Besides, there's just a few things for the drive thing. Like I'll make a dry shaft, have a local shop that can do that for me. So here's all the transmission goodies. And this car right here, this is my dad's '89 Dodge Colt. So it's pretty cool. We both had one. He picked this up probably 2 years ago. It is pretty bare bones as far as the inside. It's all stripped out. But this car is already got a rear end under it. It's got a drive shaft in it. Fuel cell. So hopefully one day we'll both be at the shootout with both of our cars, and it'll be pretty epic. Just these cars will be set up like very similar as far as like the motor and turbo. This car will be a 5-speed though, and mine will be an automatic. That's probably the only differences. His motor mounts are done. He's already like mocked the motor up and got everything where he wants to. Now he's probably be working on the wiring. He does have I believe this is a freshened up stock build, but everything's new in it. So yeah, there's a quick rundown on both of our cars. I believe me making videos about the build will keep me motivated and do things right instead of cutting corners. So like and subscribe if you want to follow the build, and see you next time.